Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is here. The main event of the evening. I'm Jeremiah Gallegos, your world-class ring announcer, to introduce Soap Boxing Podcast. And now, to introduce your host, Derek, a.k.a. Coach. And across the ring, introducing Matty Fresh. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's golden time. Time to tune in.
Hey guys, this is Coach Derek, co-host of the Soap Boxing Podcast. Man, ever since I found this Anchor app, I tell you, podcasting has become a lot simpler and a lot easier to do. They distribute the podcast over several platforms, and you have to do no work. I tell you, man, if you're interested in doing podcasting, you need to download the Anchor app. That's ANCHOR.FM. You can get started today with the Anchor app and do whatever your heart desires. Hey guys, this is Coach Derek. I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor, Pueblo Boxing. Y'all be sure to check out Pueblo Boxing. They have unique and high quality boxing gear and novelty gifts. You can find the gear at soloboxing.com. That's SOLO boxing.com. Check it out, man. They do quality work.
Say some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. Hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
Good morning. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another live episode of Soap Boxing Podcast. It's your boy, Manny Fresh, along with Coach Derek. And we'd like to welcome everyone on YouTube, Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate all the support. D, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest this morning?
Today we got Team USA national coach, former amateur boxer too in the service, huh, Jeff?
Yep.
Jeffrey MAYS. What's going on, brother?
Oh man, I'm chilling, and when I say chilling, I really mean chilling up here in Colorado Springs.
How cold is it up there?
Well, it was 0 last night. I think it's about 5 or 6 or something like that today.
Oh man, wow! I mean, we're out here in Houston. I think we're gonna get some of that on Monday. But I was talking to Derek before we went live, and I was freezing my butt off yesterday, and it was in the 20s. So I can't imagine what you guys are experiencing out there.
Man, when you walk outside, your face just starts hurting.
Are you guys doing a lot of road work?
No, everything is inside. Everything is inside.
I had a cousin, being from New Orleans, bro. I had a cousin when he went to the Navy. This in like the early 90s. And some kind of way he ended up in Chicago. And when he came, first time he came home, he said, "Cuz, let me tell you something, bro. We don't know nothing about no fucking cold, bro." I said, "What?" He said, "Bro, in Chicago, I had to walk backwards, man." I said, "What you mean?" I said, "What you mean, bro?" He went to explain. He said, "Man, your face will freeze up, man." He said, "Bro, that shit is ridiculous, man." I said, "Well, I ain't never been in no real cold, nothing like that. So I don't know nothing about it, man.
Man, that just took me back to when I was in elementary or in high school out there. That's exactly what we would do, man. We'd go into we'd walk out that house and you have it's the Windy City, so it's not only cold, it's slapping you in the face when you walk in. So that's exactly what we would do. We had to turn around, and walk backwards. Sometimes it was that damn cold.
It's insanity, bro. I don't know nothing about it, man. Whose phone's ringing? They gonna knock you off, Jeff, if you don't put just do not disturb on. But yeah, man, we got confused with our time. What that's West Coast. What time it is up there?
It is almost 10 o'clock here.
It's you got Central Standard.
Mountain time.
Mountain time.
Mountain time. Okay.
That was a lucky guess.
What y'all doing, bro? You back in Colorado? What y'all getting ready for?
We're getting ready for a tournament in Bulgaria, and then once we leave there, we go straight to Spain to compete in another tournament.
Okay. When's the next time you gonna go home, bro?
Man, 7 March. I left on the 25th of January, and I'll be back home 7 March for a little while, and then I leave again at the end of March, going to another training camp.
You know, we've had Mike Campbell on the show about a year or two ago, and from that he came on. He gave us a lot of great information. But one of the things that I took away from him on that interview was when you're dealing with Team USA and you have competition going on, you're required to do a lot of traveling and being away from home a lot, huh?
A lot. And not only am I going a lot with Team USA, excuse me, there are a lot of times I get back from a tournament with Team USA, I'm at home for a week, and then I'm off to a national tournament or some other tournament with my own boxers back in San Antonio.
Oh, wow. And so you're based out of San Antonio, Texas.
Yep.
And how long you been with Team USA?
I went on one trip with them in 2015 to Serbia with the youth team, and then I started up full time with them in 2017.
We've had a lot of guests, whether it's female boxers or amateurs that turn pros, and your name has come up a lot during the show. And I was waiting for Derek to get you on the show. I don't know what took so long, but man, we're excited to have you on. You've always
motherfucker Hollywood every time I ask. Man, I ain't got time for you, bro. You would deliver people. I said, dang. I'll try again next week, man. Man.
Every time they say your name, man, it's like an automatic smile comes on their face. They speak highly of you, and I know Derek is always I've always spoken of you fondly, and so that's not easy to come by. What's the secret, man?
Oh man, I love what I do. Boxing is my passion. I just love what I do, and I love training. I don't consider myself as a coach or a trainer. I consider myself more so as a teacher, and I try to, when I'm training the kids or training the boxers, I try to treat them all like they are my kids.
Well, it's definitely reflected in how they see you and revere you and speak of you, man. So congratulations on that. So you have the tournament in Bulgaria, and then from there to Spain. What do we got? Who should we keep our eye on now? What we got going on with Team USA right now?
Oh man, for both tournaments, I think it's just. That's a whole. It's just you should keep your eye on the whole team, because everyone has potential to get a medal, and with the way they're hitting out their strides in training camp now, I can see us being very successful at both tournaments.
How is Team USA? What's been the history of Team USA boxing? I know it goes back, but what if you had to describe the history in the last, I don't know, let's say 10 years of USA boxing? How would you put it into words for the viewers?
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to find the right word. Just say good history, but it's a turbulent history. You know, with boxing, it's just with most other countries in the world, they got one style of boxing. They grow up from 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, boxing one style. But in the USA, you got the East Coast style, you got the West Coast style, you got the Mexican style. You know, you just got all these different styles, and that's a good thing and it's a bad thing.
That's an interesting statement right there. So does
bad in which way?
Huh?
Bad. You say it's a good thing, a bad thing. I said, what's the bad in which way?
Well, it can be a bad thing sometimes when you get a kid that makes the team for the first time and they go to an international tournament. You know, they're not used to maybe the European style or the Cuban style of boxing, and those kids have grown up in one system. When our kids, a lot of times, their first time coming to camp, it's their first introduction to international style of boxing.
Do we have
big learning curve, right?
Yeah.
Do we have a USA, like, so you said, you know, we're a melting pot, right? And most countries have one specific style of boxing. When they get to the team, does it become a thing like, okay, well, we know this is your style, but now you're going to have to learn Team USA style? How does that work? Do you teach each fighter?
Well, one of the things we try to do, we don't try to take away from what got the fighter to where they're at. We just try to sharpen up their skills and get them better at, let's say, boxing against, you know, the international style people they're going to have to compete against. Try to give them a heads up on, here's what you can expect. But we never try to change anyone's style of boxing. We just try to make it sharper or make it better.
So when you're traveling, and you're fighting these different fighters from different parts of the world, and let's say, you know, you're fighting someone from Russia, you sort of have an idea of how they fight, right? Their style of fighting versus someone from, you know, England or someone from Australia. If you're on the flip side of that, right? Let's say you're from Russia or you're from Australia. How do you approach Team USA? Do you look at them at Team USA and say, shit, they have, you know, we don't know what type of style they have, or is there a particular style?
Well, that's one of the things when I say it's a good and a bad thing. Well, that's one of the good parts of it.
Right.
When they look at somebody from the USA,
they have no clue.
They can't say, okay, well, they all box this way. Because every boxer is different.
That's interesting. I never thought about it like that, man. That's pretty good. What do you think, D?
No, I don't like to share my opinions, man. I get along with it. No. I can't imagine. First of all, I would never speak on what it's like to be a trainer on Team USA anyway, because I haven't never been one, and what Jeff just explained to me with his answer to the question sound like a whole lot of fucking work. So to me, it ain't that afraid of work, of course, because I don't care which level. If you're a successful trainer, box, I'll speak to boxing. I don't know, you know, any other coaching, but if you have any sort of success, you're working hard, right? So by the time you meld all those different kids from different places and try to get them on the same page, man, I can't imagine the frustration. And it seems to me like kids making the team, they would almost have to just agree to listen. This thing I'm fitting to partake in, this represent the country. I gotta just go ahead and conform to what we're doing here. Otherwise, I shouldn't be there, because I mean, how you gonna be successful if all the Team USA has a game plan and you going against the grind the whole time? I mean, how you gonna be successful anyway? But I can't imagine. You know me with my team, with my small team. You know, it's not a motherfucking. Everybody gets to voice their opinion, but it's not a democracy. That's for damn sure. I'm not finna do a fucking thing I don't think is gonna lead us to nothing. So by the time you put all these different guys together and girls and all these different backgrounds in boxing, boxing is such a specific thing, man.